Neighbors in one Marin County community say they're worried about flooding, but not from any tsunami. We're talking about Nicasio, an unincorporated town. It's about 7 miles west of Novato. It also sits right below Nicasio Reservoir. The Marin Municipal Water District thinks it has a good idea to increase the reservoir's storage. But those living nearby told our John Ramos the plan will put them underwater.
Nicasio Reservoir is an important water supply for West Marin County, and the Water District is looking for ways to increase its capacity for times of drought in the future. But residents living near here say the district needs to pay more attention to what's going on in the present. Nicasio Reservoir looks nearly full now, but in 2021, this is what it looked like. The Marin Municipal Water District says it was within months of running dry, and they're not forgetting that just because we've had a few wet years.
That rainfall pattern is changing. The storms can be more intense, the storms can be more infrequent, and they're just becoming a little bit more unpredictable in nature.
So the district wants to raise the lake by adding an inflatable gate at the top of the existing dam. It would raise the water level by about 4.5 feet and add about 3,700 acre feet to the supply. But neighbors who live nearby and don't get any water from the reservoir say they will be the ones paying the price for it. And it centers around Nicasio Elementary School. This is what the creek looked like during a rainstorm last year, with a roaring river just across the fence and water backing up into the playground.
We're calling it ground zero because this is where you see impact, and as you go through the neighboring homes back towards the east side of Nicasio Creek, you'll see continued implications of the flooding.
Mike Siebold lives in one of those homes.
Well, currently of February 2025, we had a major flood of water that came through, flooded out 3/4 of my property, washed away a whole bunch of trees, washed away more land into the creek. My backyard's on their plan of inundation. With this new 4.5-foot rise of water would be in my backyard.
On this day, he and other residents were at the library researching MMWD's history with the reservoir. It was constructed in 1961, and for the first 25 years, the district dredged the creek to remove sediment that was deposited when the flowing water hit the reservoir. But the residents say they stopped doing that in about 1987.
Now we're at a point that the creek bed is completely filled up with gravel, and when we get high rainfall events, there's nowhere for the water to go. It runs into the existing reservoir level and stops and spreads out and floods the school ground.
So the people living near the reservoir are staging a minor uprising, campaigning against the plan that they say could put their doorsteps on the edge of a lake.
I think they're listening, but the most important reaction is, we didn't know, which tells me that they really hadn't done as much of the homework ahead of announcing that they wanted to move forward with this project.
The neighbors say the district considered a nearly identical plan back in 1980, but it was abandoned because of the threat of flooding. They're wondering why it's being considered now, when the current flooding problems have only gotten worse.
So the Water District did not respond to our request for comment today. The project's public comment period is scheduled to end next Tuesday, August 4th.